Liberalism took a radical step in denying all cosmic dramas, but then recreated the drama within the human being. The universe has no plot, so it is up to us humans to create a plot, and this is our vocation and the meaning of our life. Thousands of years before our liberal age, ancient Buddhism went further by denying not just all cosmic dramas, but even the inner drama of human creation. The universe has no meaning, and human feelings too are not part of a great cosmic tale. They are ephemeral vibrations, appearing and disappearing for no particular purpose. That's the truth. Get over it. As noted earlier, the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad tells us the head of the sacrificial horse is the dawn, its eye the sun, the members the seasons, its joints the months and fortnights, its feet the days and nights, its bones the stars and its flesh the clouds. In contrast, the Mahasatipatthana Sutta, probably butchering that, sorry, a key Buddhist text, explains that when a human meditates, he or she observes the body carefully, noting that in this body there are hairs of the head, hairs of the skin, nails, teeth, skin, flesh, sinews, bones, marrows, kidney, heart, saliva, nasal mucus, synovial fluid, and urine. Thus, he dwells observing body. Now his understanding is established. This is body. The hairs, bones, or urine stand for nothing else. They are just what they are. In passage after passage, the text goes on to explain that no matter what the meditator observes in the body or in the mind, he or she just understands it as it is. Thus, when the monk breathes, breathing in a deep breath, he understands properly. I am breathing in a deep breath. Breathing in a shallow breath, he understands properly. I am breathing in a shallow breath. The long breath does not represent the seasons, and the short breaths do not represent the days. They are just vibrations in the body. The Buddha taught that the three basic realities of the universe are that everything is constantly changing, nothing has any enduring essence, and nothing is completely satisfying. You can explore the furthest teachings of the galaxy of your body or of your mind, but you will never encounter something that does not change, that has an eternal essence, and that completely satisfies you. Suffering emerges because people fail to appreciate this. They believe that there is some eternal essence somewhere, and if they can only find it and connect to it, they will be completely satisfied. This eternal essence is sometimes called God, sometimes the nation, sometimes the soul, sometimes the authentic self, and sometimes true love. And the more people are attached to it, the more disappointed and miserable they become due to failure to find it. Worse yet, the greater the attachment, the greater hatred such people develop towards any person, group, or institution that seems to stand between them and their cherished goal. According to the Buddha, then, life has no meaning, and people don't need to create any meaning. They just need to realize that there is no meaning, and thus be liberated from the suffering caused by our attachments and our identification with empty phenomena. What should I do? Ask people, and the Buddha advises, do nothing. Absolutely nothing. The whole problem is that we constantly do something. Not necessarily on the physical level, we can sit immobile for hours with eyes closed, yet on the mental level, we are extremely busy creating stories, identities, fighting battles and winning victories. To really do nothing means that the mind too does nothing and creates nothing. Unfortunately, this too very easily turns into a heroic epic. Even as you sit with closed eyes and observe the breath coming in and out of the nostrils, you might well start constructing stories about it. My breath is a bit forced, and if I breathe more calmly, I will become more healthy. Or, if I just keep observing my breath and do nothing, I will become enlightened and be the wisest and happiest person in the world. Then the epic starts expanding and people embark on a quest, not just to liberate themselves from their own attachment, but also to convince others to do so. Then the epic starts expanding, and people embark on a quest not just to liberate themselves from their own attachments, but also to convince others to do so. Having accepted that life has no meaning, I find meaning in explaining this truth to others, arguing with the unbelievers, giving lectures to the skeptics, donating money to build monasteries, and so on. No story can all too easily become just another story. Wow, isn't that really fascinating? Even as we come to such enlightened conclusions like, you know what? This whole universe, our existence, it has no grander meaning or narrative. Even once we realize that this whole thing is pointless, we still then argue the point that is pointless. It's so backwards, but it's just so human of us, isn't it? At the end of the day, as humans, we are just inherently flawed. And even once we realize something has no meaning, we will fight for the fact to prove that it has no meaning. Like, it just doesn't make sense. And I also like the fact how it touched upon the greater your attachments are to these grand stories of the nation, the god, or me, the greater your attachment is, the further you will go to kind of protect it and force it upon others. And we've obviously seen that with the story of fascism and Hitler, for example, and the extent that he was willing to go to for this story and narrative that he constructed in his mind and obviously eventually pushed onto his entire nation. You see how far we're willing to go. Death and destruction of lives, nations and communities, cultures, just to preserve this kind of grand narrative and story. So, what's the conclusion? Detach yourself from any grand meaning or story. Our life has no central, incredible meaning. It's all really meaningless, so try to enjoy it. Don't get too caught up in it. I don't know, take from it what you will, but I hope you enjoyed reading a little bit or hearing me read. So just, if you want to hear more fragments from books that I'm currently reading, do let me know. And if you're reading a really interesting book that you'd like me to read, or just check out in general, also let me know. I love reading, so it's been good. Peace.